What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. I want to try out something a little bit different. Trying out these new angles, do like new type of videos. Trying to get more of like deck profiles because like I do like I I want to say I like trying out a whole bunch of different decks, but I do have a lot of ideas of decks that I feel like might work. So I don't know. Like I'm like maybe I want to do something to where I put my ideas out there, and maybe other people could try them. But although this is a little bit different. This is a deck that I have been kind of using on and off. I did use it a lot before the Sprite format hit, and I basically got caught up in the Sprite, the whole Sprite wave. So I completely jumped ship. But I have been trying this out along with Fluandereeze. That's maybe another deck profile that I do. But right now, I just want to go over this one, just like a little test run, see how you guys like it, test the camera angles and the audio, see how it goes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. It's just a 40 cards I guess it's not. I was about to say it's like Salamangreat. It's not really pure Salamangreat. It's more of like a Cyber's toolbox as I want to say. But yeah, let's just get into it. I don't want to spend too long. So I'll start off with 3 Flame Buffalo. Pretty simple. This card is very broken. It's pretty much like a one card. It works with the Baylink. So this will let you go into any kind of Cybers combo, Talker combo, or a Salamangreat combo, depending on what you want to do. So this is like a must play at 3. Okay, so I also run 3 Microcoder. I really like its ability to link off from the hand. That really helps when you have, like when you want to save your normal summon, or if you just don't want to use up resource. Having this is really good. And then the fact that you could search one of 2 cards. You could either search the Sign It Mining, which would get you the search, or you can search another card that's going to be in there later, which is the Codex. I really like this card. It's negates almost everything. So this right here just gives you like a little more interaction. Like I do run the Salamangreat spell and traps too. So sometimes it's overkill, but also you also get interrupted a lot, and you want to have that extender. So just having this right there just makes it a little more safe when you go into your combos. Also play a Parallel Exceed at 3. It's just standard. Like since I guess like pure Salad could still do it, but I also do feel that having those extenders just gets you to that next level, because sometimes like if they hit you with a D shifter, then you need to find a way to extend from the hand and not the grave, and this is basically how you're going to do it. All right, so that's it for just regular Cybers cards. Now I'm going to go into more like the Salad cards that I use. I started with 3 Jack Jaguar. He used to be the worst one, I guess, but now like he's literally just like a 1 card combo. Like if you go with the Heatzel. So yeah, he pretty much will open up almost any combo. I'll be going to the Decode Talker play, and I also think with just 1 card you could also end with with Sunlight Wolf and a set trap. It's been a while, so I have to get through the combos in to remember everything. But yeah, like I love doing that 3. Do not run any less than 3. This one though is kind of a little weird. Maybe people might think, why not run 3 of this one? You do have a lot of searching, so since this card could come, could always could come back later on if you don't let it get banished. So I'm pretty comfortable with just having like 2 spinny. Like I'd rather open up 1 Jack Jaguar than 1 spinny. So that's just my that's just where I feel there. Foxy, I just have the 1. I really like its effect to take out floodgates. The way this card's worded is allows it to like take out the floodgate, it's able to get around skill drain to where like if it's summoned, it'll pop it like whether it's effects negated on the field or not. So I do like the wording because it does get you out of a lot of crazy situations. Its normal summon effect in this build is not as good, so that's why I don't run 3 of them. But just having the 1 copy could, like I said, gets you out of those weird situations. And then, so Mir. I used to not care about Mir even when they were running it a few months ago, when everyone was like, oh, you gotta run Mir. But yeah, like now that I'm looking at this build, especially because I do a lot of I want extenders, I want to play around things, I want to do the Code Talker. Just being able to search this and then summon it just could take could get you there. All right, and then the last salad monster is the Gazelle. Very self-explanatory. I wish we had more, but really only need 1. We just need everything else at 3. Everything else at 3 is enough. This could be at 1 and we're good. The deck we're fine. So we're gonna go to the spells now. For the spells, I'm starting with 3 Signet Mining. That it combos really good with the microcoder. The fact that, like, you know, if you have the microcoder in hand and then another Cyberus on the field, you link it off, you go into your 2, and then you're able to go into Signet Mining, which could open you up into other plays. Yeah, it just very useful running Signet Mining at 3. You also don't mind putting things in your graveyard. Like if you have like a Spinny or a Jack Jaguar in your hand, activate Signet Mining, send it for cost, and then if you search Gazelle, you're able to like use the effect of Gazelle, and you have one of the monsters that you already need in the graveyard in the grave. So yeah, Signet Mining is just like a plus in this deck. Circle, triple circle. We're always going triple circle. Even though like we're running 3 copies of this and 3 certain that, you want to just have the ability to search it out, because this is basically like 6 Jack Jaguar, so you have 6 1-card combos, which like I said in Yu-Gi-Oh, that's broken. So this is like the perfect man. I don't want to say it's like the perfect searcher. Like there's probably like a couple searchers that are better, but this is one of the best searchers you could have. Like it searches the salad monster from your deck, and then it protects. Has also a little bit of protection if you want to go the extra mile. That's that. 2 Potted Desire. You're running almost everything that matters at 3. You are running some 1-ofs, but the whole idea is you just search your 1-ofs before you activate this, or you only activate this in like if you really need it. So this is just more of like backup. It's just backup. Like if you go through your combo and you get interrupted and you're like, okay, I put up a decent board, but I want to see if I could dig for some spell and traps, this right there will get you there. And the fact that you run everything at 3, if you open up Bricky, it won't be as bad if if you activate this pod and you banish one of all your good cards. You just want to have that option. You never not want to have the draw option. 2 Cosmic Cyclone in the main. You got annoying stuff like people are sometimes you got to deal with sites. You got to deal with if you're like you're playing the if you're playing Flu, it's Dreaming Town. If you're playing Tier Elements, they'll set Scream, or they'll set the other one. And then with the Sprite, like it's just what is I forgot what it's called, right? The one that banishes. I just losing track real quick, but yeah, there's just a lot of there's like almost every deck has something that they set as part of their combo. So just having this right here to just activate that during the draw phase, so that way if they have a Dreaming Town, they won't be able to use it. If they have Scream, or if they have I think was it Smasher? Yeah, I think it's Smasher. Jeez, why am I forgetting card names already? It hasn't even been that long. But yeah, if they have Smasher, just get rid of it before it even interacts. Getting rid of the mine, and yeah, so like this right here could go a very long way. If they have Scythe, it gets rid of the Scythe problem. I like having Cosmic Cyclone there. I guess like I said, in this deck, since it's not as powerful as other decks, like you want to get rid of things that are in your way, especially if you're gonna go second, or or if you feel like they're gonna activate, they might activate something to do a Mystic Mine in the middle of the combo. You just want to have this there, especially because this deck will hard lose to like if you're playing Flu and you can't stop the Dreaming Town, this deck is just gonna lose to just that by itself. So having Cosmic Cyclone there to get rid of problem cards, very useful. All right, next 2 spells. 2 Raigeki. It's free. Why not? I was running like I was running Dark Ruler No More, but one of the main things of this deck is you want to OTK your opponent, and you have ways to like go into cards that could either gain a lot of attack to beat over things, or you could just start destroying everything on the field. So you're not really looking to really like negate attacks. You really just want to get rid of board presence. So it's like with Dark Ruler No More, like not like the fact that you can't deal any damage sucks, but you also leave the monsters there. So yeah, so I guess like a part of me, although Dark Ruler No More is sometimes a better card, you want to have in this deck, in this build right here, you want to just have the Raigeki, because you activate it, and sometimes that'll get around some type of negation. They might have a negate, they're forced to activate that negate, and then you plus your 2 or 3 extenders will be able to put a board that's so oppressive you'll still be able to OTK even though they negated the Raigeki. So there's no downside to running the Geki. I might be running at 3, but right now I like it at 2. I just you know, like I want to still be able to access like the Cosmic Cyclone. I don't want to run just one Feather Duster, because you know some people, someone was telling me just to run one Feather Duster and then the 3 Rageki, but I like having the access with I like having the 2 of these. So 3 of these have been working, but like I said, I need to test a little more to see how much I like that. But for now, 2 is working. 1 Sanctuary, you need to run this for your combo. It's like one of the one of the first things you do is you go into Baylinks, and then you search this, and then you get the other Baylinks. That way the Jaguar has something to return, and you still have protection. So this is really huge. You only want it at 1 because you don't want to see it in your hand. You want to search it, and yeah, you just want to have this at 1. So that's just you have no choice. And then Called by the Grave. I guess this one I could switch it up a little bit. I could probably put another Rageki and take this out, but sometimes there's certain effects that you really want to get off, and you need to make sure that they don't hit you with a certain hand trap, or you need to get this certain surge. Like there's ways to play around certain things, but if you're not able to put yourself in the right position, especially like if they if they hit you with the Veiler and it's like, well, I needed to search that monster, or if Ash needed that monster. Yeah, also Bell. If people start running Ghost Bell, this deck like loses to Ghost Bell with a lot of grave effects. So having Called by the Grave there just is an added extra protection. All right, so we're going into traps now. Starting off with 3 Infinite Impermanence, which is pretty much like the only hand trap that I'm actually really running. Yeah, I'm not really running like a whole bunch of hand traps in this build. This is more of just like I have like Floodgates and Board Breakers and kind of trying to play like extenders and playing around things. So I guess like the whole idea is I don't want to let my opponent do whatever he wants, but I let them do what they need to do, use their resource, and then try to use my resource to out resource them, and then take control of the game state like that, instead of trying to force this and force that, and like, no, just let them do their thing, and then let them play down their resource, and then play around that, and then just try to take control of the game. We're very much not trying to OTK the first time we go into battle phase, but we are trying to take control, and if we can OTK, we'll OTK. All right, so yeah, like I said, I run 3 Infinite Impermanence. This is just so you could, if you're going second, you could turning things off, like if you have like a Floodgate effect, Barrier Statue, those all kill this deck. So you want to have that. You want to have that ability just to be able to turn it off. You also, taking out the columns is very, very useful. Yeah, I think this card could make a bit of a comeback. I know hand traps that really only take out one problem are not that popular right now. It's more about the Floodgate style hand traps. But this right here, like I said, going second, being able to activate it from your hand and turning things off just might come back, especially those Floodgate monsters. Take more control. Another card that another trap I run at 3 is Rivalry of Warlords. All right, so pretty much everything you're summoning is Cybers. There is no freaking other types in the main deck. I'm looking through. Yeah, like in the main deck, they're all Cybers. I had to take a second look for some reason. Yeah, they're all Cybers, and even you'll see in the extra deck a lot of it is Cybers. So going first, if you don't have the best hand, but if you can, you get this, flip that over, and if you're of course this is assuming your opponent plays a strategy that can't play through this, and you're pretty much straight. You're able to play full power without having to worry about this holding you back. So this right here, I use this in Flandreese. It does catch a lot of people off guard, but it would suck in a mirror, and it would suck against Flu. So this is something you could, I guess, experiment with. This is like a flex spot. This is just me personally. I like using Rivalry of Warlords in this deck. All right. And then my last 3 are just one-ofs. These are pretty much like the cards that you search throughout your combo. So the first one would be Rage, very self-explanatory. I'm not going to explain too much because a lot of us know what these cards do. So Rage is the one that lets you pop. I just like having one Roar. Because I also run the Cynic Conflict, which is like another negate. So this is there's just ways to where you could just end on the Roar and then the Conflict. Like if you open up with like Gazelle, or you open up with like Microcoder Gazelle, there's a way to where you could set both of these, and it isn't that hard to get Microcoder and Gazelle. You have a lot of ways to search out both those monsters. So you could basically just set both of these right there and just, have your opponent, try to play around both of them at the same time, which would be very interesting. All right, gonna get to the. I was gonna say the side deck. Gonna get to the extra deck. I actually do not have a side deck. I was gonna put a side deck together, but then I realized that side decks are very much based on your region and your personal preference. So you use whatever card you need in the side, because sometimes not everyone has the side cards available. So I want you to be able to make your own side, but I will show you my extra deck. Starting that off with 2 Bailings. So Bailings, very, very, very self-explanatory. You need 2 because you always summon 1, then you relink 1 to get the other one, then you shuffle 1 back for Jack Jaguar, and then 1 goes to the grave. So you could kind of always, you use 1 to do your combo, and then you have 1 to protect yourself, and then you have 1 for later. 2 is perfect. 2 is like a perfect little loop to where you have just enough of him to make things happen. So 2 Sunlight Wolf, that's another thing that you're gonna want to run 2 of. In my previous version of this build, I was only running 1 because I was focusing more on like the Code Talker aspect. But lately, I've been doing some test hands and trying out combos, and yeah, I do like having double Sunlight Wolf, even if I don't use his effect to like relink him, because like I said, like if you want to be able to set the roar, like if you want to set the roar and the conflict in the same turn, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to relink him. But even if you don't do that, like he just having 1 right there with the ability to like recycle monsters, it's just really, really good. Sometimes I forget that happens and my opponent summons right there, and then like before everything resolves, I'm like, hold up, I gotta get this effect. So you may make sure you remember that like your opponent summons here, you get a recycle. 1 update jammer. This helps with the OTK if you use it to link off the monster that I think it's a monster that uses them as a material gets to attack twice. So this right here helps with that OTK if you can get through to it. Next is the Code Talker package, which is pretty much these 4 Code Talkers right here. You got a 2, and then you got the 3, and then the 4. This self-explanatory. That's easy. You use this to win. This is one of your main win conditions. You go up, use this to destroy your opponent's board after they've already used all their resources, and then this will get you game, especially if you're able to try to get some type of extra shenanigans going. Deco Talker Heat Soul. There is a very, very good combo with him where you could end with him and a number 41 Baguska. That right there is a very, very, very good combo that a lot of people have trouble getting around. So like I said, if you summon him, you can summon him with just 1 Jack Jaguar. It's a combo where you just 1 Jack Jaguar will equal a Heat Soul, and so that's 1 Jack Jaguar gets you 2 cards. So yeah, and then if you have 1 more extender, you could add that number 41 under there, and that's very, very good. This just helps you with more OTKs, and then if you add them with the, you want to make them with the update jammer to get double attack. So like that's more OTK potential. This is just a Code Talker name, just so that way you could have another an easier way to use the microcoder, so that way it's not not so hard, and it just makes it easier. This right here's a cool little bridge, and sometimes you have a dead hand, sometimes you open up with like microcoder and a Salamangreat but no way to combo. Going into the Code Talker will at least get you a negate, so at least you could have something. So you basically want to have him. You want to have him ready for just for anything. These 2 cards right here, this is obviously a flex spot. This is just a preference. I like having the IP Masquerena and this one, specifically this one. So like I find myself in positions where like I'm able to I do my combo and I waste, I use my my Heat Soul, I use my Access Code Talker, and I realize that like going into a monster that could attack twice isn't gonna help me. So I kind of need to kind of get rid of the board and take more control. Having this right here has saved me a lot, because I'll basically summon 4 monsters. I'll go into IP Masquerena, so then I'll have 1 monster left. I'll have them 2 monsters, and then I'll have the IP Masquerena, and then I'll sit there, and then my opponent will have their monster that can't be broken. I'll use her effect to use everything to go into her, and it just gives me a little bit more of like a what's the word like peace of mind, because sometimes there's just these monsters that you just cannot do anything about, and in Salamangreat you could have all the attacks in the world, like if they have like that one Mr. Link monster that can't be affected, then there's really nothing you can do. So just having that ability to just link things off, especially when you could easily, you know, bring out 3 monsters. And yeah, like, you can easily bring out 3 monsters and be able to get yourself to the point where you could get this thing out. So yeah, that's it. That I run a number 41, like I talked about earlier. Him and so many times people just don't see how good that is. Having Heat Soul right there, having Heat Soul with the Baguska right there is very, very powerful. And there's like, and you're basically getting 2 draws, and your opponent's gonna lose a turn. So this right here, like if you could pull this off, your opponent is gonna be at an extreme disadvantage. So that's why I like having that. I like having that number 41 there. There's not that many 4s, but there is the Jack Jaguars, and you just, you know, there's a Jack Jaguars and then the Parallel Exceed. So, you know, there's a Parallel Exceed and the Jack Jaguars. There's ways to get into this, many different ways too. So like, it isn't the hardest thing in the world. So I said number 41 plus Heat Soul, that's a very, very powerful combo. And then my last kind of set here is the Salamangreat-talker combined with the Zeus package. Like I said, you just want to have the Zeus package just ready. You never know, because, you know, like even if you sit on this for a long time and put this in attack mode, and then, you know, attack into something, you could turn into a, you know, turn into like a 3 material, like at least like I just thought I was gonna say a 2 material Zeus, but this would only be a 1 material. So yeah, you could turn to 1 material Zeus, and then with the Mirage-talker, you could add it with this to make it into an, you know, that could be a 3 material or 4 material if you don't use the effect. I don't always use the effect of Mirage-talker. I mostly just kind of have it there, you know, just because, and just, like I just have it there just because, like, hasn't helped me out too much. But the fact that you could just bring out a salad monster, even though it does lock you in, it does come up sometimes. Sometimes I do see it where it could be useful, but like I said, a lot of times number 41 kind of, you know, the Heat Soul, the Heat Soul and Baguska combo sometimes kind of gets me there way more. So like I said, I do not have a side deck, because side decks, I guess I do have videos talking about side deck cards, so you can watch those videos to see like what cards I would be running. But for the most part, I do not have a side deck for this deck, because I feel that people are, you know, gonna look at the side deck and say, well, I can't use that. This one work. This. Why don't you use this? So like I said, you make whatever you want in your side deck. This is just for idea of just to get an idea of the kind of deck that I use and the kind of main deck you want to build. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna be working on this type of video. I want to get a different stand to kind of bring it up like a little bit more, so that way like it's a little bit better. I try to make the angle, you know, as you know, as clear as I can, but it looks like I'm gonna need to figure something else out. If you guys liked it, leave a like. If you found it informative, go ahead and subscribe. We still got the giveaway going for the Ash Blossom. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we'll be giving that away. So like I said, thanks for sticking by, and peace out.